let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Sully Squad. We are back. Well, you know, it's been a couple weeks in the time since we've been here. Unfortunately, a New York team has won a championship. The New York Knicks, took the Spurs out in 5 games, probably in one of the most improbable NBA Finals I think I've ever seen. I mean, I think I saw a stat, guys, where the Spurs led 72% of the time or something like that, but yet they lost in 5 games. So that's almost impossible. And then Carolina Hurricanes in hockey with took out the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2. Shout out to the Hurricanes going 16-3. Actually, it's ironic. Both the Knicks and the Hurricanes both went 16-3. You can make an argument that they were two of the most dominant championship runs probably in the last 20 to 25 years. If you really think about it.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on both series. The Phillies had kind of a great week 2 weeks ago. A great homestand a couple weeks ago. This past week 3-3. The Bats, other than Saturday night, the Bats went silent in Milwaukee. So we'll touch on the Phillies and and see how they basically measure up against these good teams. And since we've been here, the Eagles had their OTAs. A lot of talk about Sean Mannion's offense. I mean, how much can you glean off? How much can you gather off of guys running around in shorts? So I don't. But it seems like the players are buying in. So we'll touch on a little bit of that. But yeah, so it's kind of like a potpourri of sports here. So I got my usual cast minus Diego. I think Diego's away. So I got my man. Well, Jeff, you look like you're away. Bro. I got Jeff in the middle. What's up, dude?
Hanging in there.
It's funny. For a minute there, I thought you were going to say who let the dogs out.
No. There's another story behind that, so I would never use that.
Yeah. Well, remember the time. remember the hangover. Like, are you ready to let the dogs out? Ready to let the dogs out? Let's go. Right.
Yeah.
And right next to Jeff, I got my man Sean. What's up, Sean? How you doing, bro?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Not much. And so I got a couple comments here because, like I said, we could open up pretty much with anything. So since we got the comment, let's just hold our nose and get through this NBA Finals real quick. Eddie Prather says because Mitch Johnson sucked with clock management. Totally agree with you, Eddie.
Yeah.
In fact, that motherfucker I'm sorry. I know most teams don't fire a dude that gets to the NBA Finals, but you want to talk about coaching malpractice. That guy fucking blows, dog. I mean, look, what did De'Aaron Fox do? Like, does De'Aaron Fox have pictures on him? I mean, Jesus Christ, I never saw a guy suck so bad at the end.
Yeah.
When they lost that huge lead and they were throwing up all those threes during that time, he should have called a timeout and on the side and said, knock this shit off. All they had to do, they could have cruised to an easy win. Just do a couple layups during the game and they would have won. But they kept working these threes for no reason whatsoever. Right there, that was the turning point of the whole series right there.
Dylan Harper's going to be special. He's good.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, the game 4. I mean, if they win game 4, It's 2-2. San Antonio has momentum going back to San Antonio. They blow that fucking lead. And like we were getting ready to go out Saturday night, and like I wasn't really watching it because you know how sometimes you just have background shit on TV.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready. I'm flipping channels, and for shits and giggles, they had the replay, and I was, and so it was like the fourth quarter. I was like, and so I had it on the background, and I glanced at the TV. Not only were they up 29 at one point, they were fucking up 20 with like 9.5 minutes left. They were up by 20. So they blew 20 points in 9.5 minutes. I mean, that's hard to do. And like, so number one, call timeout. Number two, Mike Zimmerman says timeout. Number two, you got a fucking guy that's 7'5". Like, here's a thought. Dylan Harper was cooking them. Run a two-man game with Dylan Harper and Wemby.
Yep.
You can't tell me that they couldn't have ran a two-man game with them fucking guys and gone to like the foul line just once. And
Absolutely.
you go to the foul line one fucking time, you slow down that run. It was an outrage. Here's our boy Maurice Wright says Brunson bailed out this season like a dog. He needs Maxey to take notes. Hey, look, listen, I like Tyrese Maxey. I think Tyrese Maxey's a really nice player. I gotta give Jalen Brunson his flowers, man, because that dude, to Maurice Wright's point, I don't know if Tyrese Maxey can play like Brunson. I mean, you look at Brunson. Brunson took his game to a whole other level. And the other thing is Brunson's game's a little different. I mean, Brunson's got some thickness to him. You know what I mean? Like Maxey has speed, but you watch Brunson. I like that one where he had Wemby guarding him, and he literally went right by Wemby, laid that in the fourth quarter, and I was like, man, I'll tell you, that's one thing. I didn't want the Knicks to win, but I'm not going to lie. I think Jalen Brunson really showed a lot of class. That's all I'm going to say. I thought he seemed like a class act how he was talking. Eddie Prather says, don't forget that the Spurs blew several double-digit leads against T-Wolves and Thunder. Yeah, their coach blows. He's Doc Rivers on fucking steroids, this dude. You know what I mean?
Big guy under the basket. One of the problems,
Mike's absolutely right.
What he's saying here, you throw the big guy under the basket
to the big man.
They're kind of right there, but I was listening to some of the sportscasters and shit afterwards, and they were saying, and actually, Stephen A. Smith and them. I was just watching the show a little bit today, and they said Wemby didn't have a bad finals. It's just when he got himself into the the
flagrant fouls and all that.
One more, he's out, and then also they were playing him. They were hitting him. He's not really, he's tall, he can play, but they were pounding on him harder than it usually would. So he loses his mind for one split second. There goes the foul, and there it goes. He's done. So that they had, a good game plan going right there.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, listen, I think Wemby's got a hell of a future. He's a great talent.
Yep.
He'll be back, but he came up softer than baby shit in some of them games. I mean, how the fuck are you not? How the hell are you 7'5" and you're 9 out of 24 from the field? So that and again that. To me, that's like this, that I agree. Like Charles Barkley brought it up. Like they jacked up 8 consecutive 3-pointers up all those points. Like that's where you need a guy, an old school type mentality. And I know it's 2026, so maybe you're never going to get that. But that's where like you need like the Larry Brown type guy, the old basketball sage. If you miss like maybe 3 or 4 threes in a row, you call the TO, you set up a play, you go to the foul line, and you slow the fucking game down. And I for the life of me, like 76 points at the half. You guys realize all they needed to do was score 40 points in the second half to get 116. They win that game by double figures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They couldn't even get 40 points. You
need a guy like Oakley and Rodman back in the day, just to be those guys in the paint and stuff like that to get those rebounds and help out Wemby, throw the elbows. be that physical presence, but that wasn't the case.
That guy is right too. What you're saying, he's throw the elbows and everything, but what do you call it? Wemby had 58 minutes played out of 62, 64, whatever it is. That's way too much. He was gassed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's so basically, to wrap up the finals. I mean, the world champions are in the Sixers division. You got the New York Knicks. By the way, shout out to what was it? Why am I drawing a blank? Who's it? Leon Rose, right? Is Leon Rose their GM? Well, shout out to him because, I mean, the Sixers did all that tanking, and you look at how Leon Rose built this team. Jalen Brunson, free agent, trades for Cat, trades for OG and Anunoby, which they made a few good picks. They had RJ Barrett and they traded Quigley to get OG. Then they traded all those picks for Mikal Bridges. But great job what a job by Leon, by him, building this team. And now you look at the Sixers and where the Sixers are. I mean, you got what, four? You have basically a big four. You got Maxey, PG, Edgecombe, and Embiid. And then you have, I think, Derek Barlow is under contract. And then pretty much and I think they have Justin Edwards is under contract too. So, you got the 22nd pick. The draft is coming up. I think the draft's 2 weeks from tomorrow, right?
Yeah, like the 26th.
Or yeah, okay, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I'm sorry, 11 days, whatever it is. But anyway, so what can the Sixers? Is there anything the Sixers can do? I mean, because
move to Camden.
It's so disheartening. What? You know what I mean? What in the world can we do? I mean, I look at this 22nd pick, and I'm hoping they can, add a contributor there, like a guy like the kid from maybe Santa Clara. What's his name? Graves or whatever. Like somebody, I'm just spitballing here, I'm hoping that maybe they could do something like that.
You're not looking for a championship within the next year or two, are you? Because you're not going to get it. I'm sorry, just me personally. Even if I was a GM going to, got a job as a Sixers GM, I would not say out there that we're going to be a team in contention within the next year or two. You got to get rid of this deadwood and almost start over again. This little core of people. You obviously you got Maxey there. You got to play off of Maxey. You play off of Edgecombe. Paul George out of here. Embiid out of here. It's not going to work. I loved watching Embiid and all the stuff that he's done and everything for the city, and I wish it would have worked for him. It's done. That dream is over. Unfortunately, to me.
No. I'm realistic, Jeff. I mean, I don't see there being a way they can really contribute. Can get there too, but they're going to try at least, right? So
you don't want them, right?
So they're going to try to make moves around the margins. So I mean. I like the idea of getting trying to get a guy like Dean. I think his name's Dean. I'm trying to pull this up. Dean Wade from Cleveland. Guy like that.
That's him.
Yeah, Dean. A guy like a Dean Wade from Cleveland. He can play you some stretch four. He can hit you some threes. What was the guy?
Graves.
What's that, Sean?
Draft the kid Graves from Santa Clara.
Yeah, and then you're going to need a backup big. Maybe there's a maybe like I was saying before, like maybe you can get like a Jackson Hayes or something on the cheap. Somebody like him. Athletic guy. I like some of the moves. I can't pull the damn thing up. What you sent me last night.
I have it right here. I'll read off it.
Yeah, can you touch on that real quick? Because I kind of liked where that guy was going with it. It was a lot of improvements on the margins a little bit.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Because I'll be honest, Kelly Oubre,
so you got Dominic Barlow. You get his option with 3.4 mil. Decline Trendon Walford's team option. decline Dalen Terry's team option, waived Jabbar Walker, and then signings like you said, Dean Wade, Jock Landale, Aaron Holiday, Javante Green for the 1 year and 2 year minimal, and then trade for Scottie Pippen Jr. using the Jarrett McCain trade exception. Trade Johnny Broom via Phoenix 28 second round pick to Milwaukee, and the 2028 second rounder to Golden State to Washington for Justin Champagne.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of like no name type moves, but at this point, like you need to somehow get a bench,
Yes.
and that's kind of the stuff you can do, like you need like to me like I'm letting Grimes. I've seen
let
enough
Grimes
of
go.
Grimes. Yeah, I've seen enough of Grimes. I'm tired of him. Like I'm done with him. I'm not. Grimes look to me like I look at Grimes and he is the guy that you put him on a team that sucks. Like basically was the Sixers in 2024-25, and he'll
True.
look good. He'll look good when you're losing by 25. You put him on a good team, he sucks. He's a numbers guy on a shitty team, so he can go. And Oubre, I thought looked pretty good this year. I kind of like Oubre, but I don't think Oubre shoots good enough to merit. Like I would rather take a chance on a better shooter.
Yeah, I let him go. I'm right there with you.
So, but anyway, maybe there's some of the moves they can make around the margins. Like I said, the draft, the draft will be coming up, and so hopefully this new GM, hopefully this new GM could get a move going. You know what? His press conference happened since we last did the show. And was there any takeaways from that? I mean, I don't really take anything.
Standard.
Yeah.
Standard, and we got Jameer Nelson. He got promoted.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued by that. I'm kind of intrigued by that,
I think he's – because you have a basketball mind, a guy that knows the game, just like with any sport. And I think he's going to probably be the talent evaluator, unlike Elton Brand, so to speak. So,
yeah. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But we'll talk more about the draft when we're on again. But there's another team, the other winner team, that's preparing for the draft. There's been some rumors about that team. I don't know if you guys saw online. There's a lot of talk that the Flyers could possibly be interested in what's his name? Darnell Nurse.
He's requested a trade,
and he wants to come here too.
Yeah. Jeff? What do you? I mean, I always kind of go to you for hockey. Like, what's your thought? First off, isn't he Donovan McNabb's nephew?
Yes. I was just going to say that. I said he's got one strike against him. He's related to McNabb.
So, like, what do you – I mean, the only thing is, like, I was reading his salary's a little high. I think he makes, like, $9 million. Like, the Oilers would have to retain some of that salary, I would think.
Look, a little bit, but the Flyers have a ton of money now. And you don't want to obviously waste it, but he's a good player. He would definitely be an improvement here. They need somebody with some skill back there. I don't know whether they're going to keep Ruotsalainen or not. I mean, they liked what he did after the World.
I heard is it possible to get traded, Jeff?
Yeah.
To Washington for another Russian guy that's friends with Michkov.
Yeah.
Kind of pair him up or whatever. And he's a former first rounder. But like you said, it should be interesting.
Yeah. And Larkin, the one who's from the Red Wings, he ain't coming here.
Yeah, he wants to go to the Wild, the Knights.
He now opens up to 6 teams, which means his agent's playing out there. He's just trying to get the interest and get the best he can, but he's not coming here.
No. I can see him going to the Knights.
Something along those lines. Somebody that has a chance to go all the way again.
Mm-hmm.
Because look where he's at now. But I'm trying to think. There was one. I'm trying to think who they were talking about that the Flyers were really big on.
Is it Mason McTavish?
But he's one of them. Yes.
There's another guy I was reading about, center from, I think it's Seattle, Reiners. Isn't there a Reiners? Renners, Reiners, I don't know. I these hockey fucking names. Here, let me Google it real quick. I get these hockey names get me sometimes.
There's it's yeah. There's so many names that are, it's like 15 letters in their names, or
yeah. And how about the rumor? It says Dan Vladar's close to a 5-year contract.
Deal.
What do you guys think of that?
I think they definitely for what they have and what he showed. I mean, he kind of showed that he can be the goaltender. You look at his record, and his record shows pretty well. His goals against average are pretty damn good, and you finally have a defense around the goalie. Right. And it's funny, kind of bouncing off of that. That's what Carter Hart didn't have when he was here. He didn't have a defense around him, and I loved Carter Hart before when he was, couldn't wait till he came up. Loved when he played. He just needed a damn defense. He didn't have any. But now I'm kind of happy that he lost, and he lost the way he did, because I'm sorry, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I believe that he was part of that whole situation, and that turned me off. And if he was, then I'm glad he lost.
2 for 4, Carter Hart, 3.45 games against, and then 863 save percentage.
He's the first goalie to give up 4 goals in 5 games in a row.
And then you got Brandon Boucher, game 6, 22 shots faced, 22 saves.
Yep.
And a shutout standing.
Yeah, because Anderson, they pulled Anderson when he played 3 or 4 games as a rookie, Boucher or whatever. And
Anderson came out and said, Jeff, that he was hurt.
Yeah.
Which is why he came in.
And he played well. Yeah. Backup can come in and play well. I mean, it's happened a lot of times with Flyers. The backup's better than that. And look, Urson was the goalie that started the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to happen. They need a good backup goalie. They have this one kid, one of the obs or whatever. He's not, the one that they had that was up here, Alexei Kozlov. Mm-hmm. He's still on the Flyers.
KHL guy, yeah.
But he might be able to come up for a year or whatever like that. But the other kid that they have who's over in the KHL, they're waiting for him. Supposedly he's really good. He's getting the kind of push like Carter Hart got on how good he was. Because Carter Hart broke all kinds of records and shit over, when he was playing in college and
mm-hmm.
trophies and things that he's won. But again, he didn't have a defense here, and that whole mess that happened with him and the other guys in Canada. He's the only one that came back to the NHL. The other guys didn't. Kind of tells you something.
Yeah. Hey, I'm reading. So I'm reading on Broad Street Buzz here. I was online. This is a little interesting. So you guys mentioned like maybe Dylan Larkin possibly be interested in going to the Golden Knights. So they have on their site kind of speculation that if the Golden Knights went out and got like a Dylan Larkin, they have a player who's a restricted free agent who had 30 goals. His name's Pavel Dorofeyev. And the Flyers could possibly offer some assets, like, maybe like first round pick this year, one of their picks in 27, maybe another like young player, and the Flyers could get him, sign a guy like him who's a 30 goal scorer and young, and then the Vegas can use those assets to go get Dylan Larkin. So in other words, like, that
win-win situation.
That could be a way. Yeah, the only thing is I don't know if he's a center, though. I have to Google him. But because the Flyers do need a center, but the bottom line is they also could use somebody that's, another guy that scores 30 goals, So, or if you added a young guy like him, then maybe you trade a Tippett and a Ristolainen or something, when you go get yourself.
I'm afraid of trading Tippett. Tippett's good.
Well, I don't want to try. Jeff, I don't want to trade him either, but I'm just trying to find a way to get a center.
Well, his name is out there for a lot of trades. There's a lot of rumors out there. Well, obviously, a lot of GMs have his name out there. They want Tippett. He's the one guy that they want to pick up from us, but obviously got to
fast and he's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade him either. I mean, shit, wasn't he our leading goal scorer this past year? I mean, I don't want to trade him either. But I'm just, I mean, the Flyers have to, I mean, if they're, you figure they got swept by Carolina, but they played Carolina to overtime two of those games. I mean, you can make the argument that the Flyers were, played Carolina, almost as good as anybody, but freaking Montreal and the team Golden Knights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, somehow the Flyers got to get a playmaking center and improve that power play, because you're not going to be able to play with the big boys. Like if your power play blows the way their power play blows,
it's been for a long time.
You're not going to be able to play with the big boys. So
they need to get a big body or two. I know Coots played well in the playoffs, did great for us, but he was also pounding people. That's what you need during the season and in the playoffs. You need a big guy or two, and Coots helped fill that because our guys are quick. They're young, quick, got talent, and I know Michkov will come around. I mean, he seems to have already his interpreter is saying all the right things, and Tocchet seems to be working with him the right way. That he wants to do good. He doesn't want to be traded. He doesn't want, he wants to learn, and he knows he has things. I hope he's telling the truth. I hope he's not one of those lying sons of bitches, and then he's out of here.
Yeah, that guy that I was talking about, Dorofeyev, whatever. Yeah. He's a left winger, but maybe he could play with Michkov, get like a fucking Russian line going. I mean, shit.
Yeah, you can sometimes, depends on the guy. Sometimes you can take a player and throw them in at center. Happens during the games. I mean, somebody comes off and somebody gets thrown on. I mean, positions you can play. It just depends. But yeah, they do need a stud center. I mean, I would love for them to trade for Austin Matthews. That's another name that's up in the air.
I think that's going to happen. I really do.
I think it's a possibility.
I'd like to see it happen.
I would love to have Austin Matthews here. It's not his fault that the team sucks.
I mean, hey, I'm already on. I know everybody loves that Toronto pick, and believe me, I totally get it. But like, I would gladly give that up along with a few other young players to get Matthews in here because I'm tired. I want to start competing now. I'm tired of waiting.
Do you know who else is out there as a free agent?
What's that?
Cutter Gauthier, the guy that didn't want to play here because we were going to put him in the minor leagues for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
He's a free agent.
Well, he must be restricted. I mean, he can't be unrestricted, though.
I don't know what his contract is, but he might be. I don't know if it was 1 year or 2 year deal. I don't know what it is. Take a look and see if you look it up, see what it is. Because I saw his name on the list. Because they have a huge list of players that are out there that are stud players that a lot of these teams can pick up on.
Does
they're
Carlson
not.
come
No
here?
one's letting him go.
Does John Carlson come here? His name's been.
That's another name that seems teams coming up too. Yeah, it's a possibility. Like I said, they've got some money to spend, so it depends on what Briere and
they want
and Josie want. Yeah, and if he fits into Tocchet's scheme, because as much as everybody, Tocchet's not that good, this and that. Hey, those guys played for him and they made the playoffs.
Yep.
Gauthier is a restricted free agent,
okay.
So there's no way they're letting him go. But maybe. Well, here's a thought. I don't know what their salary cap situation is because that guy Leo Carlson is a restricted free agent too. So they have two. They have two guys. Now here's a would you question. If you're the Flyers, I know it'd probably be unpopular among other GMs, but would you put like a poison pill contract? Even if it costs you say 3-4 first round picks, maybe try to get a guy like Carlson. I mean, he's young, good. And he's a center. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if Anaheim's in cap hell, maybe you can find a way to swoop in.
It's possible. Yeah.
I mean, I doubt it. I put that at like a 2% chance. I don't know. I feel like we're just
the Flyers are what Jonesy and Briere have done. They've done a good job. They've gotten a lot of players here in and out. They've got the league singing a lot of these young players, which is a big help. So they've now got some players that they can trade that aren't going to be here. But they lucked into the contract. Like I said, the big contracts are gone now. They've got some money to spend, but they're not going to let themselves get into a situation like they were just in where they're maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's, kind of where it's going to be. That's where you're going to find out how good these guys really are, who they can get in here, who wants to play here. They can see a young team on the upcoming. It was great that they made the playoffs because I think that helps a lot with other players around the league. This team's good enough to make the playoffs with their look. Add my skills and whatever else. For a long time there, everybody wanted to play for the Flyers. Then obviously for the longest time, nobody wanted to come here.
Yeah.
So the money, you didn't have the money. That was it. But now you need players that want to come here and do something.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hope, I mean, if they could get Carlson here, I would take Carlson for a 2-year deal. I'll tell you what, I'd even consider, I know he's old, but, to improve I would take Carlson to improve the power rate. I'd even bring Giroux back for a year to improve the power
They
rate.
were talking about bringing him back, and they were talking about bringing somebody else in here. Somebody else from the Flyers was in there too.
Shane Gosper.
I don't know if Ghost would come back or not. He's got 2 cups since he left. They blew it with him. They really did. They didn't want him to shoot so much. They wanted him to play more defense. Well, then have him do that. I mean, I got into many arguments with people, and then it says that, many articles I've read, Lindros obviously was, a different type of player that people have seen in a while. And as soon as Bob Clark got his calls into him and said, dude, you've got so much skill. We don't want you hammering people in the corners, getting penalties and all this shit. Go score. Then when he started to turn that way because he wanted to, do what he says, that's what fucked up his game. Because now you had people hitting him cheap shots. He was always looking to score. But when he played his game at his best is when he was pounding and doing all that shit.
Yeah.
He would have a much longer career and probably would have stayed here because that caused a lot of pain between him, obviously, and the way he was treated and the family because of his injuries.
He should have kept his head up with that Devils game.
Again, his head might have never been down. They might not have had all that stuff happen had he stayed being the player that he was. You didn't want to go in a corner and have him coming in at you, like a steamboat. I mean, a steam train. That Big E would be coming in there. He'd knock you on your ass just by hitting you. Big dude. But no, he started going in there trying to steal the puck, and that's when the next guy comes in and hits him up in the jaw and the head and knocks his ass down. I mean, just watch this stuff and read this stuff. I mean, he's my favorite player, so I follow everything about him, and I watch many documentaries with him on them, and he's had a rough life after hockey, believe it or not. And these concussions, I mean, he's been on the edge of suicide a couple of times. He's been talked out of it and works with the league, and he's helping players now that have the same thing with CTE and everything else. It takes a lot, but his game changed when Clark changed him and wanted him to be more of a scorer and stop pounding. That was just the wrong thing to do. That's not the player he was.
Yeah, another guy the Flyers have been linked to. Sean, you sent me this. He's a little old. He's 36 years old, but Roman Josi from the Nashville, 36-year-old defenseman. I mean, I don't love the age. I don't love the age, but I mean, for
A year or two.
Yeah, for a year or two, the only thing that worries me about that, though, you start bringing in guys like that, it reminds you of the why am I drawing a blank? Who's the other defenseman? They got a defenseman from Nashville that was like old and never played here. Remember? I think he was Nashville. The guy that they were stuck paying all those years.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck was his name? I can't even remember. Christ, he played like one game. He's basically like the Flyers, like Jeff.
Not Harris. He had the big beard. I know you're talking about. He got hurt, and then he never. Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis. There you go. Yeah, I think that asshole played for Nashville too.
Yeah, and he did.
Although we did have good luck with Nashville when it came to Tiemann and Scott Hartnell, though. So that worked.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. That's the kind of offseason the Flyers need. Like that 2000. You look back on it. That 2007 offseason, 2007-2008 season. Flyers went out and got Hartnell. They got Tiemann. They got Briere. I mean, that's the Flyers have a pretty decent team right now, but they need to make, they need like 2 or 3 acquisitions, at least 1 or 2 defensemen, number 1 center, like you said, Jeff, backup goalie,
Yep.
And even then, I don't know if they can measure up with a team like Carolina, but at least then you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe we can win a couple rounds,
True.
It's a start. I mean, I think they'll be better next year. I think these players played together. I think they got a core of the team now, because how many guys came in and out of the lineup? There was a lot of guys you never even heard of. They were there for a couple of weeks, and then they were back in the minors.
Yeah.
Then they started to take off with the guys they had, and the guys they had played together. So it's like any team. It takes some time to get, know the players you're playing with and everything, and see what happens from there.
Yeah, we'll move on to the Phillies in a second, but I'll tell you a guy that everybody should know, especially if they get hurt. Well, shit, I hit the wrong button. A guy that everybody should. Yeah, maybe I don't know him. A guy that everybody should know, especially if you get hurt on the job or you got a workers' comp, personal injury. My man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al, motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or personal injury claims. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey, 1 in Philadelphia, PA, 1 in Cherry Hill, and 1 in Pittsburgh. Yeah, one of my coworkers had some asshole rear end him on the way to Chick-fil-A last week. So I was like, damn, dude. I was like, call fucking Jason Fine, bro. You know what I mean? Start playing up the neck and the back hurt, Yeah. So, but anyway, well, speaking of it, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about a team that plays like they got a lot of personal.
Rear-ended.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah. Exactly. You know what? Fucking Trey Turner's playing like his ass got rear-ended. I mean, what the?
Reading today an article or an actual interview from Mattingly. He's close to sitting Turner, and some word out there is they're willing to trade Turner. Somebody wants to take some of the money.
Well,
they think maybe it was a mistake. Well, it depends. Some teams out there might.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't even think Ray Charles would trade for Trey Turner. We can't even see him fucking play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, Trey Turner signed for 7 more years. I mean, a team would have to eat a lot of salary to take him. You know what I mean? He's really struggling. Actually, I was curious to see if the Phillies sat Turner today, because I didn't.
No,
I was gonna say, because I didn't see the lineup tonight.
He's in the lineup.
He is, okay. Yeah, so the Phillies play. Well, so tonight you got Zach Wheeler against the Marlins. So like I said, coming off a 3-3 road trip, took 2 or 3 from Toronto. Johan Duran has been pitching great. He blew his first save in the Toronto series. But and it's a bummer. Garcia's actually started to hit the ball, and now he gets hurt.
So that happens. That dude, that pitcher, I don't know say his last name. Yeah, that guy can pitch. Jesus. How'd you like to have a pitching staff of him and Skeens and like Sanchez? That'd be fun. Holy shit.
Yeah, good luck.
That guy can fire. I was really impressed by that kid.
Yeah, so the Phillies have it looks like a 7-game homestand coming up. You got the Marlins and the Mets coming in. Mets are playing a little better. I think the Mets took 2 out of 3 from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So Mets are playing a little better. There must be something in the water in New York. All their teams are playing well right now. Let's hope it doesn't pass down to the Giants.
Well, Acuna Jr.'s hurt again, so I might have a little bit to do with the Braves.
Wow. But with that, Jacob Mizrachi struck out 15 Saturday night or more, allowed 1 hit or none, faced the minimum number of batters.
That was it, minimum amount of batters. He's
the first pitcher in Brewers' only major league pitcher in modern era to throw a shutout, where all the stuff I said. That's crazy. Dude.
As good as Skeens is, we've hit Skeens. We were close to hitting this guy. This guy was just good.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
just
He
watching
was
this.
in the zone.
But he hit 104 or 105 on the pitch.
105.
God damn.
And then Marchand taking that ball to the
Yeah.
hockey mask. He was rocked. He was seeing
He was seeing stars. Yeah, oh
and
yeah.
green clovers. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because they're not a huge offensive team, the Brewers, but they got some pitching, boy.
yeah. You know, and
Yes.
like Joey said, don't take the Marlins lightly.
No, you can't. You can take
They
anybody.
got our number, I think he said before. So
They can't take anybody lately. The way they're playing right now, I don't know what it is about the hitting. You know, Harper's hitting well, which is good. You know, he's going to look. Harper every year does it. He goes into a slump. Schwarber's going to go into a slump, but he's hitting well.
Yeah.
March, I don't know what he's on, but he's whatever it is, just keep it. He's playing well.
I think Mattingly finally found like a way to use him, like we said in our text, where Topper couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and he's grasping it, and he's proven a lot of people wrong that not a lot of people thought he could do what he's doing, but he sure is.
He's got him
He's
batting
playing
against
it all.
left-handers too, which is
Yeah,
how you going to hit a left-hander if you don't play against them.
Right.
but he's proven a lot of people wrong.
And Stott's doing good with runners on base.
Yeah,
Lately, he's been getting the RBIs and getting the key hits with guys on base. But unfortunately, like I said, Turner's just. I don't know. I really expected a lot from Turner coming in. I remember how great he was before he came here, and I'm like, oh my God, we got Turner. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, other than last year, last year,
Yeah.
well, 2024 he was pretty decent too, but last year he had a really good year. But 2023, 2023 really didn't have a great year. And then this year he's just been terrible. I mean,
When he played for the Dodgers, he reminded me a lot of Tulowitzki. The guy could hit homers. The guy could hit anywhere you wanted to when he watched, and he played a hell of a defense. All of a sudden, he came here and seemed to lose everything. It made no sense.
he's been making a lot of errors since he's been here. Where like what you said, Dodgers and Nationals, he wasn't doing that.
No.
Yeah, and the Phillies. I mean, the Phillies really had no energy yesterday. But Turner making that error didn't help either. Turner makes an error, extends the inning, and then Sanchez for his great. He's been great all year, so I'm not going to rip him. But he just didn't have it yesterday.
Nope.
So
It happens, yeah.
but Turner makes an error, and then and then the kid, the one kid, I forget his name. He has Sanchez's number. I think he's like 6 for 7, against Sanchez.
Yeah.
He had a 3-run bomb. And next
Furia.
thing it goes from 1-0 to 4-0, and the game was pretty much over.
Nope.
So, but and you talked about not don't look ahead against the Marlins. Well, I mean the Phillies really can. I'm looking at the standings here. Phillies are only 2.5 games up on the Marlins.
Nope.
So, but again, I'm
Here's
sorry.
something also bothers me. Our bullpen. No.
They need a left-handed reliever. They need a right-handed bat.
Right. That one guy who's the one with the well, obviously Jose, or he's not doing it. Alvarado.
No.
No. He scares the hell out of me now going out there.
Yeah,
I hope the kid Riccone tears it up.
Who's the other guy
I
we
like
got?
him.
Is that last name begins with a B?
Tanner Banks had
Banks, the other guy. Who's the other guy we got? Oh,
Brad
White-
Keller.
Keller. That's how. I'm sorry. Yes, Keller. He doesn't have it either. They had high aspirations for him. I don't think he's that good. He's giving up runs left and right.
Nah,
He stinks at home.
Yeah, he sucks. Keller blows. I mean, he came in that game. I think it was Saturday night. Phillies had a nice big lead. He almost pissed the damn game away.
Yeah.
Yes, that was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so our bullpen is not strong. So with us not hitting, and if we do get a lead by a run or two, who do you have come in? And you're like the 7th inning. You have Kirkring possibly coming in, and then you have, Duran obviously, but when you need a couple innings in there, I don't trust any of them. They're just giving up too many runs.
Yeah, I'll tell you, guy I don't trust at all is Toy Story Painter. I mean, boy, he looks he really looks like shit, man. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, they may need to. I mean, he may need to go back down to the minors because he's clearly not ready. I mean, maybe
I said to my boys, I told you so. I said I told them in the beginning of the year, I don't know. I just don't see him. It's weird. Like, I don't know how to put it out there, but when you watch somebody, you kind of tell this person has it. They got some stuff, or you can just see confidence or whatever it is. He just doesn't have that. I just don't see that in him. Like, Steves and those guys just don't seem to. Nothing seems to bother him. This thing, again, the guy from the Brewers, nothing seems to bother him. They just go out and pitch. And Sanchez is the same way. Sanchez doesn't let anything bother him. This kid just doesn't look, like you said, ready. And I don't think he's completely back from his arm problem. I don't know whether it's mental or physical. But
I just think he isn't the player that we thought he is.
Yeah, I agree. And Aiden Miller, I don't know if he's ever coming back.
Yeah, so I'm looking.
Invasive back surgery.
Yeah, so I'm looking here. I mean, the Phillies desperately need a bat. One possibility is people are saying maybe the Phillies could trade with the Cubs to get Suzuki,
Suzuki, yeah.
How do you say his name?
Suzuki.
Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. Yeah.
Joey
There's another guy from the Angels, Adele.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the other guy they're looking out for too. Obviously, everybody's saying, "Oh, bring Trout in." He's never coming to Philly. People, just stop.
Here's my man Paul Spencer. What's up, Paul? How you doing, bro?
What's up, Paul?
Yeah, Paul's Braves are still in first place. Well, we're eight games behind them right now. But and you like you said, Acuna's hurt. So so maybe
this is our time to strike. This is our time to pick up some games. If you look though, I apologize to keep interrupting. If you look though, we would be leading or tied in a division, 2 divisions over in the American League.
Well, that's true, but you know what the saying is though. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. You know what I mean?
Well, nowadays might be.
Yeah, it's true. It is 2026. Yeah, really. Yeah, we don't know how the fuck that shit works.
Well, I just look at the standings and I look and I'm thinking, shit, the Phillies would be leading the division if they were over with what, like the Tigers or the Indians in that division or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, damn.
That's true, but then again though, if you were younger, more money, and and tons of coin, maybe you could be sitting in the stands next to Taylor Swift and Sydney Sweeney. You know what I mean? So you never know.
I'm just so tired of all the press and noise. I'm just leave them go to a fucking game and stop. You know what I mean?
I know that shit was actually getting on my nerves. I'm not like the quote unquote hate the celebrities dudes, and I'm not like the stop showing Taylor Swift. Like, I'm not usually like that, but I will keep it real. That shit was annoying the fuck out of me on Game 4. Like, it really it really was, because like, not for nothing, but like, that chick was like literally in Cleveland like 3 weeks ago with Travis Kelce as he's rooting against the Knicks. And meanwhile, like, she's jumping around they win the game. She's jumping around like freaking like she's like been a Knicks fan for like 60 years. Like,
and she's there with what is the name? Marisa Hardaway, whatever, Hardaway, or from
as Mike Myers says, Mariska Hargitay.
That's the one. So he's there, they're all jumping around. Well, I like the Sharks. At least they said like Stevie Nicks, and it wasn't the Knicks.
Yeah,
on their shirts. But yeah, they just when they do this with the whole time with Kelce and her. I understand it's media and it sells and all that, but enough's enough. Just leave these people alone. Done. I'm tired of seeing what's his face come into the game every single game. Ben Stiller. Another one.
Well, you know what though, because people were wondering why that dude had his phone out all the time. Apparently, I think he's filming a documentary on the team. They gave him like, so I think he's got like some behind the scenes access or some bullshit.
Gotcha.
So I mean, maybe that's him. You know what I mean? But
I mean, they just kept showing them one. It's just like, all right, show them once, whatever. But all during the game, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but so we all know the Phillies need an outfielder. You look at Painter, he sucks ass. Nola, Nola is, Nola, you gotta pray that you hit the nights Nola pitches, and maybe he gives you 4.5, 5 innings of like 3 runs. So,
True.
so really, if I'm looking at it, of course you need a bat, a right-handed bat, but you can make the argument that you need a 4th or 5th starter almost as much as you need the bat, because the problem is you got the 3 good starters, and Luzardo's been a little inconsistent this year, but you got the 3
up and down. But you can see that he's close. He's getting hit, but you can see that he's close. He's not horrible like Painter's doing or like Nola. We'll see what happens during these dog days of the summer.
Yeah, well, Schwarber kind of went into a little bit of a slump there for a little while as far as power, but I think he's still – he's 240, 247, 24 homers, 42 RBIs. That's – and that just goes to show you how bad the lineup's been. The dude's got 24 homers. He's only got 42 RBIs.
Always happens. Remember when he was leadoff, it was like that.
Yeah, well, they started batting him again in leadoff.
Yeah, because Turner ain't doing shit. Unfortunately, that's where it hurts us.
All right, so let's let's get ready to wrap. Let's get ready because the Phillies actually started. So let's get ready to wrap up in a little bit here. So we got 7 games, 3 versus the Marlins, 4 versus the Mets, all at Citizens Bank Park. What's the Phillies' record after these 7? What kind of week are we having? A good week? What kind of week are we having here? Jeff, what do you think? 7 games. What are we looking at?
4-3. I was going to go 5-2, but I'm thinking of our pitching. I say 4-3.
Sean, how about you?
4-3.
Damn.
Are you going to go 4-3 too?
You know what? I'm saying 5-2. Fuck it. I'm saying 5. I'm saying 5-2. I think the home cooking. I think yesterday. Sometimes the last game of a long road trip. I think these dudes were ready to get home, get in their own beds. You're home. You got Zach Wheeler going tonight. I'm saying 5-2. I think it's a good week.
I hope it's 7-0. Yeah, I would love for it to be 7-0, but like you said, watch out for the Marlins. But I hate the fucking Mets. I'm going to stick to the Mets, but we got to have our pitchers go up against that. We have to hit. I don't care what Mattingly has to promise them. Just go hit.
Yeah, I think we all hate the Mets. We got to get New York back down to earth here. They're they're way too much good shit's going on up there.
Here's a question I have: do you think this year's Phillies, obviously Topper wasn't big into it, but do you think this year's Phillies needs to play a little bit more small ball than what they're playing?
Honestly, I just think that the lineup's just not good enough. Truthfully though, don't they kind of trace? They kind of do play small ball though, if you think about it, Jeff. They only got. Harper hits homers and Schwarber hit. Who the hell else hits homers for this?
Well, when I'm saying playing small ball, I'm talking about bunts, talking about double steals. Nobody can bunt on this freaking team. It's unbelievable how bad these players bunt on our team. You have Harper, you have Schwarber. Every once in a while, just out of nowhere, bunt. Everybody's playing back on every single one of them. So you bunt, get on base. You don't know what can happen.
Yeah, well, I think part of the problem is you mentioned double steals, where you got to be on base to do a double steal.
Exactly, but you know what? You got to pull things out of your hat. You just you look at some of these other teams and they just pull shit out, and it works.
And you know what? And one of the problems with this team too, like the minor league system, listen, we're only in June.
Mm-hmm.
We're in June, and it's his first year. I'm not going to write the kid off. But I'm sorry, Crawford looks like – I'm not saying he's going to suck forever. Crawford looks like he blows to me. I'm sorry, but the fucking guy has no power. He has no power. So if he's not hitting – you know what I mean? So basically, if he's not hitting 280 to 300, then he's a fucking waste to me. You know what I'm saying? He's not –
I think he should be leadoff. I think he should be leadoff right now.
They got to do something because I mean, yeah, but he's down to like 230, isn't he?
No,
I mean,
change up things a little bit. See how he bats there. He's quick. Get him on base, steal some bases. I mean, that's what I mean by like small ball. Little things like that change things up. I know it seems like Mattingly. I mean, Mattingly's got a great record right now as manager. The Phillies did the same thing as soon as Thompson came in. But
yeah, Crawford's hitting 231, 2 homers, 13 RBIs. He's got 45 hits. Am I gonna write him off at June 15th? No. But honestly, he ain't much different than fucking Johan Rojas to me. Like he's a 4A player. Like I don't see anything special out of him, and it's sad because he was a first-round pick. And again, it goes down to historically the Phillies not drafting well and not developing guys. Because this guy was supposed to be one of your best prospects. You look at these other teams like Milwaukee, the Marlins, Braves. These guys bring legit players up. The Phillies call up Crawford, and he's a guy that hits 231, literally that just hits ground balls and doesn't do dick.
Ever since we had a problem, what was it? Arbuckle was the guy that drafted Mike Schmidt, and then he was with the team forever. And then
Arbuckle. No, you're thinking of are you thinking of the Pope Paul Owens? I think
no, not Paul Owens. Arbuckle was the guy who was. He's the one who's got a lot of those picks. He was there when you had Ed Wade and all that. He helped him and all that.
He was there, yeah. He was there. I think he might have been the guy that was there when you got like Utley and Rollins and them.
He was there, and then he was let go. They got into an argument with the Phillies and whatever it was, and with the grass, and they let him. That's it.
Wade.
What's that?
Wade.
Yeah, Ed Wade was there. But Arbuckle was a guy under him. He was just a scout of theirs, but he was like the best scout around. I mean, they used to talk about him and like on other broadcasts of other teams that this guy was a really good scout.
Yeah, well, does he have a kid or something? Because our scouts blow.
I don't know. I know.
I mean,
I don't get it.
Seriously, because like
I don't get why we don't get. We got a place where we could get the money and you got the fans, but I don't understand why we have no Japanese players on our team. I understand the Dodgers and what they do, but the Red Sox have gotten some, and Yankees have gotten some. I don't understand what's going on with our team. Do we not have anybody over there?
You got the White Sox have one. Toronto has one.
How about them? White Sox blew last year. Look at them. They're in first place.
Young and offensive hungry, man.
Yeah.
Those kids are hitting. And they're calling up a lot of kids from the minors. Freddie
Freeman said yesterday, he said, I'm going to tell you this, and you're probably all going to laugh, but he said, the Chicago White Sox are for real, and they're an up-and-coming team, and they beat us down. I was like, shit.
Yeah, you know what? They do. I mean, they do have some young players, and that's what we need. I don't know. So hoping they find a way to get. Hopefully they find a way to get some type of bat in here and some type of fourth or fifth starter, because otherwise, maybe they could sneak in the wild card, but they're not. They're not
going to go real far.
They don't have a prayer against any team that has good pitching. They don't have a fucking prayer. So they need to add something. But anyway, I guess we'll get ready to wrap up here. Anything to add before we roll out of here?
No.
Now, did anybody watch? I wasn't going to watch those UFC fights.
Yeah,
I did. I watched some of it. I watched some dude. Oh Christ, I can't remember the names. The one fight was good, man. It was 2 American dudes.
Gaethje and Hodick and Ruben Blade. No, I'm sorry. Derek Lewis and Hodick.
I missed that.
NFL. I watched it.
How did Derek Lewis do? Because I like that dude.
Crap. Retired. 41 years old. Got knocked out.
Oh. See, I always root for Derek Lewis just because I loved years ago when he was like my balls is hot. Like I love that dude.
Yeah, well, that time has come and ended. He was horrible. but the main event was where it was at because Gaethje dropped the dude Perella with a knee to the ribs, and I don't think he could go. I think he broke him. Because he was
Wow.
tearing through the towel, and dude, his face looked like he got hit with a 2x4.
Oof.
Probably a broken eye socket, but Gaethje came out and bawled and beat him.
I watched that, John. Where the Brazilian Mexican dude caught Garcia with a fucking nice fucking nice.
Lopez.
That was that was a pretty good fight. Yeah, they were the first couple I watched, and then I went upstairs and laid down. I watched a little bit of the hockey game, and I fell asleep. But
Sean O'Malley won. He beat the Canadian dude, and he saluted to Trump.
Is that why you're wearing your Irish shirt?
there you go. Hey, us Irish dudes stick together, man. If it's a Kilrain, a Sullivan, or O'Malley, they're the dudes that we're rooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, everybody. Well, listen, we'll be back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be back. We'll have to see if we'll be back because next week.
Nothing's going on during this week.
Yeah, nothing's. Well, I mean, we got the drafts coming up, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see when the draft. So I wouldn't mind.
Talk about it.
Yeah, we'll wrap about the drafts. But anyway, have a great week, everybody. Go Phils.
Go Phils.
And maybe they can get a hit. See you guys.
Strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the